Do some more SAT prep. This is 2.6.16, which is practice test 2, section 6, number 16, on page 475. We're given the function h of x equals 14 plus x squared over 4. We're told that h of 2m is a 9 and asked what is one possible value for m. Usually what that means is that you're going to get an answer that has 2 or 3 different values for m and you're going to pick one, or sometimes it means there's a window of values for m and you're going to pick one in that window. And it doesn't matter which one you pick as long as it's right. So let's go ahead and talk about what this means. When you see this this function notation, h of x, that means that whatever's in here is going to get plugged in for my x, right? And then the stuff on the other side, right, this is my y. So what's going to happen is I'm going to get 9m equals, and then I'm going to plug in a quantity 2m anywhere I saw an x. So it was a whole quantity x squared over 4, right? So I'm going to plug in a 2m whole quantity, and it's going to get squared. Right, so what that means is that when I distribute that squared onto both the 2 and the m, I'm going to get a 9m plus a, oh, sorry, my bad. Every once in a while, my brain kind of blips a little. All right, so 9m equals 14 plus, when I distribute this, I'm going to end up with a 4m squared over 4. So the 4's will cancel, which is nice. And I'm going to get something that's a quadratic. So when I have this m squared and I also have an m, I need to move everyone to one side to factor. So I'm going to subtract the 9m over, and I'm going to get 0 equals m squared minus 9m plus a 14. So this is a quadratic trinomial, right? It's a pretty common factoring thing. So the way I factor, and you don't have to factor the way I factor, but here's how I factor, right? I realize that when I factor this, I'm essentially going to unfoil. So I say to myself, well, the front seats kind of have to be an m times an m, and the back seats have to be things that multiply to a positive 14. So it's either a 1 and a 14 or a 2 and a 7. It is usually the middle set of numbers, right? This sign in the middle actually tells me, well, the sign at the back tells me what kind of signs. If it's positive, that must mean that the two signs in the front and back seats of the binomials are the same. And then this minus tells me what sign they are. So I get that this should be an m minus 2 and an m minus 7. Since the whole thing is equal to 0, either m minus 2 is 0, right, which gives me an m value of 2, or m minus 7 is 0, which gives me an m value of 7. And those are the two acceptable answers that you could give. So when you're asked to give your answers to this, your answer would either be a 2 or a 7. It doesn't matter which one you pick, right? So your answer is either a 2 or a 7. You could pick either.